Hello and welcome to the start of Season 4 of Norwich City Bouncing Back. It's the first day of the season and we have spent some money once again. Yes, the transfers have been made and the squad has been, I think, hopefully improved, maybe. We've still got nearly 30 million to spend, 165 million to spare in the wage budget, which is a good thing to have and will hopefully help us out going forwards. But I think my business is done for the start of the season at the very, very least. It's been a bit frustrating. We'll talk about that as we go. It's just kind of a byproduct of the fact that we are not that sort of top level team. We can't attract the absolute best players, but let's take a look at who has gone first of all. So released players, a few names there you might recognise. The most notable one though is Jacob Sorensen, who played a pretty decent part in our first season and 27 games in the championship season. He's gone. He was out on loan last year. We've now let him go on a free to Motherwell. But there have been a lot of departures that sort of fringes the squad. We'll start with the loans. The most notable loanee departure, Josh Martin, has gone on loan to Blackburn for the season. He was, he's in and around the first team. Actually played 13 matches last season, although mostly off the bench. Has been not amazing. I think you might remember he broke his leg right at the start of the save, pretty much. Very, very early on, was out for 5 months. That kind of has stunted his development a little bit. He's decent. I don't think he's ever really going to be good enough to start for us. So he's gone out on loan for the season. Hopefully he can develop a little bit more. Also going out on loan is Jack Watmouth. He was one of our first signings at the club, but he's just not quite at the level we really need anymore. And his contract was running out. I have renewed his contract just so I didn't want to lose him on a free. I think we can get a little bit more value for him, but he's gone out on loan to Bristol City this season. And then some permanent departures. Teemu Pukki has gone. Never really played particularly for us. Was frequently injured when we were in the championship. But I mean, his performances before we got here have been what sort of cemented his not quite perhaps legendary status, but bordering on that for the club. He's gone to Stade Liège for £750,000. We do wish him well. Already got a goal in his one of his first 2 games. Kenny McLean has also gone. The mayor of Norwich has gone. Never really played for us at all, really. I mean, I guess he played a little bit in the championship, but not much. He's gone to Derby County for £200,000, which is quite good because his contract was actually up in about a week's time. And it's just all the veterans of the championship winning side from real life that have just been gutted. Tim Krul has gone. Nearly joined LAFC for, what was it, like 3.7 million. We didn't get that. We got 1.2 million from Crystal Palace, but again, we wish him well, a very loyal servant. And we're also shipping out some of the earlier signings. Ben Pearson has gone to Burnley, which seems slightly appropriate, really. Obviously, a free transfer, was rubbish whenever he played. 4.6 million. I will take that profit. Lucas Rupp has also gone. I mean, this one is, it's a little bit sad because basically last season he just got annoyed at me because he wasn't playing. Christoph Zimmermann sorted him out, and then he immediately got annoyed again, and there was nothing we could do about it. So yeah, he's gone to Minnesota in America. Good luck to him. They are in the MLS, and he's already played 5 games, which is good. But 1.8 million, which is not a bad profit. We've made a profit on pretty much everyone that's gone, but he was integral in the championship, a vital part of that. Really did quite well in the Premier League as well in the first season, but then just we got better players. So despite the falling out, I do wish him well. Also going John Suter as well. It didn't quite work out. He's decent, but not spectacular. He's gone to, I think that's Osasuna, isn't it? I never remember which one it is. But again, we've made a profit, 3.2 million, pretty much doubling what we paid. Almost exactly doubling what we paid, 1.6 million for him. Never particularly spectacular. Not awful, but not amazing. So good to get a profit. And actually the 2 largest sales we've made are players that you probably have never heard of, that I've never mentioned at all. Kian Brecken, who we signed on a free transfer from Manchester City a couple of years ago, has gone to Burnley for 5.75 million. I thought I could make a bit of a profit on him, and I was very much right. And the biggest sale actually is for 10.75 million, potentially rising to 18 million, is Calvin Mansford, who is a regen that we signed from Derby County, as you can see there, for £3 million a couple of years ago. I thought he would be pretty special. When we clicked accept, his star rating was 3.5 stars in terms of potential. It was once 5 stars. He has some fantastic attributes in some very interesting areas: vision, first touch, passing, teamwork, flair. They're all great, but some major weaknesses and major drawbacks. His physical attributes in particular are awful. So I thought, I don't know how good he's ever actually going to be. To get this amount of money for him, I think is really quite good from Brentford. So I think we've trimmed the squad quite effectively. A lot of fringe players going out and actually, yeah, making a profit on pretty much everybody. We've got quite a lot of money in, which has then allowed us to do a little bit of extra spending, and also we've still got quite a lot left over. But firstly, in terms of the incomings, well, not really an incoming, he's still here. Curtis Jones, we have extended his loan. I don't know how much he's going to play this season with the other players we've got in, but for me, he's such a versatile player. Can even play up front if we need him to. He can play in the base of midfield if we need him to, but he can play, so many different roles that we need. He's only on 20 grand a week. I just think it makes sense. And as ever, we have also signed a few regens from the lower league, because that's really the only place we can get, and we can't really buy them from the top clubs. The most notable one, hopefully, is Ryan Davis, who we have signed from Exeter. He's already played 20 games for them, which is pretty impressive considering he is 16 years old. The obvious standouts are his 20 determination, we love that, 16 off the ball and 16 technique, and then some decent ones in other key areas, dribbling, first touch, passing. He is technically very, very nice. Physicals aren't bad, some decent mentals, stuff to work on. Mainly in his position, I don't really know what he is. His most natural position is attacking midfield in the centre there, which we don't really use unless we switch, unless when we switch the formation I'm going more attacking. So I'm probably going to just try and train him as a Mazzala, maybe a winger, but his crossing isn't amazing. I think he'll be a pretty decent Mazzala, to be honest. Left-footed as well, which suits our system really well. Definitely one for the future. Hopefully he can live up to his potential. And then moving up the price bracket, we've got another right back in, the latest in a revolving door of backup right backs behind Max Aarons. Louis Coyle is this one. He has joined permanently from Hull City, 5.5 million. Has had some decent seasons for them, getting them up from League One into the Championship. Yeah, pretty decent. Not spectacular. He's, star rating isn't amazing, but nice, solid, well-rounded attributes. As a backup player to Max Aarons, I think he's a decent option. I think not much money, and I think just quite sensible, really. I've made a video about how many English right backs there are. There are loads, but they're all really expensive. We can't really justify spending anything crazy like 20, 25 million, 30 million. That's the kind of price bracket we're talking for the ones that are even interested. Most of them aren't even interested in joining us. We can't justify spending that much on a backup player at this stage. We don't have the money and the wage bill to justify that. Pretty good pickup, but I think actually the bargain of the summer, as far as we're concerned, is Calvin Phillips, who we've picked up from Leeds United. We've snapped him up for 8.5 million, could rise to 10 million, which even in and of itself is very, very good. Extremely well-rounded for a midfielder. I would be happy playing him in all the roles that we would need him to, but he's principally here as a box-to-box, the replacement for Lucas Rupp, back up to Chowdhury, competing with Vieira as well, while Harry Winks is still injured. Again, he's not absolutely spectacular, but the work rate's really good. That's what we like to see, and everything else really, the marking, passing, tackling, dribbling, everything you want from a box-to-box midfielder, he has it to at least a very, very solid level. He's quite aggressive. He dives into tackles. He's got lots and lots of aggression there. Hopefully he doesn't get sent off, but I think a very solid, good squad option. Now, I said I wanted to really improve the Mazzala role. That was kind of the issue. Marco Stiepermann is still here, but only because no one's bid for him. I would quite like to sell him. He's not going to be playing all that much this season, if at all, because we've got two players in. This is the sort of backup option, rotation option. Louis Sibley from Derby County. Don't know if he played for Derby in the recent game in the FA Cup against Chorley, but we have had to pay quite a lot of money, and they wanted a lot more than this. This is some serious tapping up going on here. But 17 million plus a couple of regens who aren't going to really amount to anything, I don't think. It could rise to about 22 million depending on international appearances and appearances for us and things like that. It's a pretty hefty price tag for a 21-year-old who hasn't done particularly well in the Championship. But for me, similar to Ryan Davis, but just more developed, his attributes are fantastic for the Mazzala role, really. Left-footed as well, which makes him very well suited for that position on the pitch. But the dribbling is fantastic. Finishing, first touch, composure, physicals aren't bad. Passing, technique, again, just lots and lots of well-rounded attributes. I think he will do a very, very good job as the backup in that position. He is only the backup though. We'll get to the main player in that position in a minute, but we have brought ourselves another centre-back in because obviously Suter's gone, Watmouth's gone, needed someone else. I wanted an upgrade really. Zimmerman and Gibson have both done commendably, but I think we needed a more higher level centre-back partner for James Tarkowski, and I'm hoping that Chris Mepham is that man. 32 caps for Wales already at the age of 25. This was pretty much a straight choice between him and Ben Godfrey. Just Mepham's slightly more well-rounded. They're both the same age, so I thought that was probably the sensible decision. He has exactly what you want for a centre-back, really. Heading of 15 is fantastic. Marking, tackling, his passing is decent, could be better. Positioning, the composure and the determination, the concentration in the decisions, that's what I like. Anticipation as well. The mental attributes are fantastic. We do sometimes have issues from just players switching off and things like that. So to have him back there alongside Tarkowski, the more experienced man, I think is going to be a formidable partnership. 25 million is what we've paid from Bournemouth. Pretty good value, I think. Again, not been spectacular in terms of average rating. I think that's kind of a byproduct of just the ratings not being great. Now that's been fixed, I don't think it's going to be an issue. And then, you've seen it in the thumbnail, we didn't bring back Ben Godfrey, but we have brought back one other former Norwich City player. James Maddison returns to Carrow Road. I want to call him a Norwich legend, but I mean, he's not really. He's barely here. He was signed from Coventry, went back on loan. He had sort of this breakout period he had here at Aberdeen. And it was only really this season, the 2017-18 season, when he really was playing regularly for Norwich. But this season was just phenomenal, wasn't it? I mean, I don't think he actually won the Championship Player of the Year, maybe the Young Player Award, but you know, it was definitely involved in the conversation for that. Really just kind of lifted the whole team in what was an otherwise terrible season, and kind of lifted the whole city as well, I remember at the time. And also then his sale to Leicester basically kept the club afloat at the time. So to get him back, it's a little bit like the prodigal son returning, and we have paid more than 22 million, but quite reasonable, I think, 37.5 million pounds. And actually, because of the sell-on clause that we had, we got ourselves a bit of a rebate, much like with Jamal Lewis, 3.5 million, I think. So actually 34 million spent is a very, very good deal for a man who pretty much instantly becomes our best player, certainly on a par with Buendia. I mean, there's not much you'd want to improve there. Maybe if you could be a little bit quicker, but the technicals are fantastic. The free kick taking a 17 hopefully will come into good effect. Can play on the left if we need him to, but we're going to obviously be principally playing him in the middle. And that is that. I mean, it's kind of stretched over the two things as ever, which is just fantastic, but quite a lot of money spent, quite a big chunk brought in as well. This is the overall finances, 88 million. One day we'll be able to expand the stadium. When I'm not going to push the board on that one too much. We did talk about maybe getting a new striker, maybe getting a new left winger. I have looked at that, but it's not something we've done for two reasons really. Basically, in terms of what's available and in terms of whether we really need it. I mean, Adam Eder obviously has been fantastic. We're not going to. He's going to stay here until the day he retires. And really, Adam Armstrong last season was very, very good. I don't think we need to necessarily get anyone else in. Want to bring through some of the youngsters as well, of course. I mean, in terms of who's actually interested in, we can't get Harry Kane, we can't get Mason Greenwood, we can't get Marcus Rashford. We can get Carlin Grant, we can get Dominic Solanke for 25.5 million. I think that's his release clause at Bournemouth. Is it that much of an improvement to really warrant that amount of money? I'm not sure. Similar kind of thing for the left-hand side as well. But, we've got the money. We can maybe get someone in before the end of the window. We can certainly look to do it in January if we need to. But I'm backing the players we've got here. Armstrong, as we said. Finley Robertson, who we barely used, he's really good, and I want to use him more this season. I mean, we've got Curtis Jones. Hopefully Lookman can stay fit. Hopefully Cantwell can remain consistent in terms of his form. We will see how we get on. Now, we've got a few injuries, of course. Harry Winks is still out, but he won't be out for that much longer. 3 weeks. He will be back. He timed his injury not well for the Europa League run, but I suppose well, generally speaking. Marcus Edwards also has a bit of a knock, but otherwise we are at pretty much what I would say is full strength for this one. Nick Pope, of course, is going to be in goal. He was exceptional last season. Lewis, Mepham, Tarkowski and Aarons is the defence. Vieira is going to be in midfield for now with Chowdhury and Maddison. Lookman on the left, fit again. We need to keep him fit. He just gets injured so often. It's kind of annoying. Buendia is on the right, and of course the main man up top. We want him to continue what has been a massively brilliant scoring record so far this save. He's one of these guys who maybe, in terms of star rating attributes, we could probably get someone in better, but in terms of who delivers, well, he delivers, so why do we need to? But an interesting test for us in the opening game of the season, Sheffield United. It's a very different universe. In this universe, they finished 7th, of course, last season, beat us towards the end. That helped them do that. They're in the Euro Cup 2 this year, and they've got Christopher Raya, they've got Rob Holding, they've got Christian Eriksen, apparently, who they've signed. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg as well. Quite a Scandinavian flair throughout their team. That's interesting. Chris Wilder still at the helm. It's not going to be straightforward. They are far better than they are in real life, but I expect to win today. We've got some major improvements. Let's get to it. I could see Carrow Road absolutely packed. That is definitely one of the next things on the old agenda. The facilities are pretty good, but it's the stadium we need to improve. Corner already from James Maddison. He's on all the set pieces. That hopefully is not a sign of things to come, but maybe we can still work something with it. Both of our centre-backs still need to go back and defend, but Buendia picks it up. Chowdhury lays it back to him. Good chance for an early cross in. He's managed to keep that in play, which is I would slightly question that, but apparently it is. Aaron swings it in, and Maddison with a good chance. That would have been the perfect fairy tale return for James Maddison, but not to be yet. Another corner from him though, puts it into the box and it's in, and that's what we want to see all season long. Maddison with the assist, Adam Eder with his first this season, taking him less than 15 minutes to get off the mark. That is what we want. Beautiful ball from Maddison, and the leap from Eder there. He's not the tallest man, but that was fantastic. Not been much action since then. I mean, there's been none until now, but we're working it down the left this time. Maddison holds up the ball well. Lovely triangle passes. That's what we like to see. Lewis this time with the ball in, and it's him again. It's him again. He's doubled his total for the season. We're in the first half of the first game of the season. We love it. Why would I spend 25.5 million on Dominic Solanke when I have a man who came through the academy who can just do this week in, week out? Beats O'Connell again for the header. It's a second header for him. It's a second goal for him. We're 2-0 up. Very pleased with the performance, boys. Keep it up. This is the perfect start to the season so far. Let's not throw it away though. Now Max Aarons, he's only just come back from injury. He's picked up a gashed lower leg in the first half, and helpfully I only put Greg Taylor and Ben Gibson on the bench, so both left-footed players. That was really sensible. We could just put Calvin Phillips at the back. That might work. I'm going to put Taylor on. Hopefully it doesn't cause any issues. I mean, we're into the final few minutes. There's not really been anything that's happened today apart from the two corners. That's really all we've seen. Into injury time, we might as well just make some changes just for the sake of it, really. I mean, there's literally a second on the clock, and now there's a highlight for Sheffield United. I think you've maybe left it a little bit late, boys, as we now look to counter Calvin Phillips on for his debut. Lookman maybe should have taken him off given how injury prone he is, but he's still running, he's still going. If we get a third here at the end, it would be completely unnecessary. Calvin Phillips hits the post. That would have been a good introduction from him. I mean, we're still going. I mean, this is the most pointless end attack to a game ever. Like, the time's already up. We're already 2-0 up. Why is the referee not blowing his whistle? There he has. It's done. And we have not quite as dramatic as the start of last season, but a 2-0 win. I will take that all day long, especially when the main man gets 2 goals and opens his account for the season. And you can see there West Brom currently top of the league, which is very early days. But there we go, not a bad start at all. And well, we will now go through, and we've got a very good fixture list to open the season. I think some very winnable games, and then of course we will have to play at some point. Oh, there you go, look, Liverpool, Spurs and Man United in a row. That's nice. Obviously still quite early, so we don't know when the Europa League group is going to be, but that will move some of these things around. I think obviously we did that last year. We don't need to go in such detail. We did play quite a lot of matches last season early on. I think this year probably only 1, 2 at most, really, I think, in terms of the group stage action. Hopefully we should be getting through that, or at least finishing third, and then hopefully we have a better chance of winning Euro Cup too anyway. So yeah, that is where we will be back next time. Don't know what the group will be, don't know where it will be, but some sort of Europa League game with some other league game. Who knows what it will be? It's a surprise. It's a mystery for you. You have to subscribe to find out. Make sure you leave a like as well, and let me know what you think of the transfers. Leave a like for those. What do you think of the transfers? Money well spent. I think Maddison and Mepham in particular are going to be kind of classy improvements. We could obviously still improve, but I just think the money that English players in particular and British players generally cost, it's quite a lot. I mean, I want to try and find value, but the players that would really make a substantial improvement, the ones who are in the England squad in particular, are, you know, north of 50 million. We don't have that, and even if we did, they're not interested because we're not in the Champions League. So really that kind of has to be the aim this season, I suppose, is whether it's through the league or whether it's through winning the Europa League, can we get into the Champions League? This is still only season 4. This is only our 4th season. We're already talking about maybe getting in the Champions League. I think that might take a few years. We will see. But that is going to be it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you next time.